Hello, folks. Welcome to another episode in the series of personal development and growth. And today we tackle breaking the chains, exploring the power of releasing your past and embracing the freedom of the present. I'm your host, Richard Fontenay, and in today's episode, we delve into the informative journey of breaking free from the chains that bind us to our past. Stay with us to the end, where I tell a story about Rachel and how she found newfound freedom within the workplace. Now, as our recent article in the Fontenay magazine suggests, we often find ourselves tethered to memories and regrets and traumas of the past. Whether it's a breakup, a mistake, or a painful experience, these chains profoundly impact our present and future. And today, we uncover the steps to free ourselves from the shackles that bind us. Let's start with acknowledgement. Facing our past head-on requires courage and self-reflection. It's about accepting what has happened and understanding its influence on our lives. It means acknowledging our past, and as we strip away its power over the present moment. Forgiveness is another crucial step in this journey. It's about forgetting or condoning past actions, but about releasing ourselves from the grip of resentment and pain. Forgiveness is a gift we give ourselves, granting freedom from our burdens. Self-expression plays another vital role in this process. We often treat ourselves more harshly than a friend. But, practicing self-compassion allows us to nurture healing and to nurture growth within ourselves. Mindfulness, too, is a powerful tool for breaking free from the chains of the past. By focusing on the present moment, we can let go of intrusive thoughts and embrace the beauty of the now. Through meditation and deep breathing, we can release what no longer serves us. And setting boundaries is essential for personal development and breaking chains. Boundaries protect us from repeating negative patterns and allowing us to prioritize our well-being and growth. Now, before I go, here's a short story that wraps around the elements that we just discussed. In the heart of a bustling city, amidst the towering skyscrapers and the ceaseless activity, there was a company called Harmony Tech. Now, within its modern glass-walled office, employees constantly raced against deadlines and juggled numerous tasks. And in this high-pressure environment, there was a team leader, and her name was Maria. And she was known for her calm demeanor and wise counsel. Her office was really a small oasis, adorned with plants and with calming artwork. It was a haven for those seeking advice and seeking support. One afternoon, Rachel, a project manager, knocked on Maria's door. And, really, Rachel's eyes were weary, and the tension in her shoulders was really quite noticeable. Maria invited her in, offering a seat and a cup of coffee. "What's on your mind, Rachel?" asked Maria, shifting her attention away from the computer so that she could really focus on Rachel. Now, Rachel sighed deeply. "I've been struggling, Maria. I made mistakes in my projects, and the guilt is really eating me up. On top of that, I find it hard to say no to additional tasks, even when I'm already overwhelmed. It's affecting my performance and, frankly, my well-being." And Maria nodded. "You know, Rachel, courage and self-reflection are essential steps toward integrating your work with your well-being and ultimately finding peace. Let's talk through this together." Now, as Rachel relaxed into the chair, and Maria began to share a story. "Let me tell you about Lila. She was a young woman who worked in a demanding role, just like yours. Lila was dedicated and compassionate, but often put her colleagues' needs above hers, leading to burnout and to frustration. Yet one day, Lila's mentor gave her a small, smooth stone and said, "This stone represents mindfulness. Keep it with you to remind you to stay present and be kind to yourself." Now, Lila followed this advice, using the stone as a prompt to practice mindfulness. She took a few moments each day to breathe deeply and reflect on her thoughts and emotions without any kind of judgment. And through self-reflection, Lila identified the patterns that caused her stress and the importance of setting boundaries. With newfound courage, Lila began to decline additional tasks when she found herself stretched too thin. She communicated her workload and priorities clearly, and balancing supporting her team while maintaining her own well-being. The setting boundaries was challenging, but it brought her a sense of control and respect from the team and from her colleagues. One evening, after a particularly stressful day, Lila reflected on her journey. She realized that to move forward, she needed to forgive herself for past mistakes and acknowledge her efforts. Forgiveness became a way for her to release guilt and embrace growth. Rachel listened intently, and the story really resonated with her. And she said, "How can I start practicing self-compassion and setting boundaries without feeling like I'm letting my team down?" Well, Maria suggested a way forward for her. Begin with small steps. Practice mindfulness by taking brief breaks throughout the day to center yourself. Use these moments to acknowledge your feelings and remind yourself that it's okay to prioritize your own well-being. When setting boundaries, be honest, but also be kind. Explain what you can do and communicate openly with your team. Remember, Setting boundaries is a form of self-respect and helps you be more effective in the long run. Now, encouraged by Maria's words, Rachel decided to implement these practices. She started carrying a smooth stone, just like Lila, and carried it in her pocket as a reminder to stay mindful. She took short breaks to breathe and to reflect, and gradually becoming more attuned to her emotions and her needs. Now, with Maria's guidance, Rachel learned to decline additional tasks when necessary, explaining her workload clearly and respectfully. Over the following weeks, Rachel's confidence grew, and she practiced self-compassion, forgiving herself for past mistakes and focusing on her progress. Setting boundaries became more natural for her, and she noticed that her productivity and her own satisfaction began to improve. Maria's support and Rachel's own dedication to mindfulness and self-reflection transformed her approach to work. Rachel's journey was not without challenges, but she discovered that courage, self-reflection, forgiveness, mindfulness, and self-compassion were key to thriving in her demanding role. In the supportive environment of Harmony Tech, Rachel found the strength to balance her responsibilities and her well-being, and in the process, becoming a more resilient and effective leader. So, folks, as we conclude this episode, I encourage you to embark on your journey of liberation. Embrace self-awareness, forgiveness, self-compassion, and boundary setting. You know, with dedication and resilience, you can break free from the chains of your past and unlock a future filled with endless possibilities. Now, thank you for tuning into this episode in our series on personal development and growth. And don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with anyone whom you think could benefit from its message. Oh, and be sure to check out the resources below. Now, until next Wednesday, remember that the power to break free really lies within you.